Hello.
Oh, hi.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Tharian Legends presented by the Sunday Brunch Club with our special guest today. We are very, very happy to have everyone here. We are down a Jess, so I responded by replacing her with a different Jess. See if you can tell the difference.
This one is definitely not nearly as pale.
That's true.
No, I'm kind of pink.
So I'm going to go ahead and go around the table here and let everybody introduce themselves. But I just wanted to go ahead and thank everyone for being here. It is a genuine honor and pleasure every week that I get to spend with this cast and work with these folks. It is really wonderful to get to tell stories with them, and I couldn't be happier to have these people sitting at my table, so to speak. So we are going to go ahead, go around the room, then we're going to show that fantastic intro video, and then we're going to get started. So I am going to go ahead and start with Finn, since you are in the upper left corner today.
Oh, hi. I don't know where I'm looking. I don't know how to Brady Bunch this, but hi, I'm Finnegan Archer. It's good to see you guys, and I'm excited to play. We, I guess, are doing plugs for other things at the end of the show, so I was about to launch into that. Anyways, I love you. Let's go.
Who are you playing?
Oh, I'm Robin. I'm a person. I'm Robin.
This person doing stuff.
Yep, I'm
What
Robin.
does Robin do?
He cons people out of everything they have if he can, and or gets himself caught in trouble. Yes, Robin, the glamour bard who plays the showman, just Mr. Razzle Dazzle until Razzle Dazzle doesn't work, and then he might have to make a pact with a chaos, mischievous trickster goddess, which is where he currently is. So I guess now he's a bardlock.
All right. And our official cartographer, since we're going in clockwise order, Jess.
Oh, hello, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and buttholes. It's me. I'm Jess. I'm Freckles Sketches Everywhere. Today, I am also Sothrel. They, them pronouns, wood elf fighter.
And Miss Barbara, you're next.
I'm just amazed at Jess's intro, at Freckles' intro. Guys, gals, non-binary pals, and buttholes. I love it.
Google Meets allows me to say buttholes, so I'm kind of morally obligated to say it all of the time.
Do it. Do it. Hey, everyone. It's me, your friendly neighborhood Babs the Bat. I am here playing my wonderful, sweet, darling, tiefling Echo Knight fighter, who is now not so secretly a silver dragon and always has been. So, welcome. And I guess I'll do the Brady Bunch thing and I'll look up and over the other way to Trieste.
Hello. I was waiting to see like which over you would look towards, because that would have, I was like, Anyway, hi, I'm Trieste, also known as Blaze of Gloriosa. Today I will be playing your artificer, half elf, who breaks stuff, I guess. Gloriosa is currently really regretting leaving her city. Holy cow. So that's me today. I guess it's Robo?
Yep.
Robo, we saved the best for last.
What is it with y'all in today? It's morning, really early. Hello, it's me, RoboGoblin, and you can find me at TTRPGS and this morning I'm gonna be playing Lunes Velasco, a really small ghostwise halfling, a druid, and also a wizard. And it's me.
Who has become a story in D4.
Yeah, who now is canon in the D4 lore. Hey.
We support the big pupper.
Yeah.
Hey.
All right, and do you want to go into the Idle Champions spiel real quick before we do the video?
Oh, shoot, yeah. If you like champions, and if you like being idle, and if you like to be Forgotten in the Realms, you can now check out Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. Right now, we have a code below us, and it's Ceci Noise Exul. Be careful with those words. You might actually summon a demon or something else.
Bless you.
As he says it out loud.
Yeah, I mean, a demon just appeared. Hey, how's it going? You can exchange that code in game for an Electrum chest. Am I still?
Yes, it is an Electrum chest. Yes.
Okay. For an Electrum chest, where you can get all kinds of cool equipment for your champions, which right now you can unlock DM, the Dungeon Master from the original cartoon, with the unicorn as a what is
familiar.
it? As a unicorn familiar. So have fun.
That and they're having a big DLC sale. So like I just got the cute little elephant familiar thing.
What's her name? Oh, damn it.
I don't remember his name.
The blue elephant. Bubbles. You can get Bubbles.
Who didn't do it.
Yeah. And there you go. It's me. Roll the clip.
Rocking everywhere.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and jump right in. For those who were with us 2 weeks ago, you'll remember that our heroes finally got on the road with a caravan headed south towards Laketown, going from the Chancel. And eagle-eyed viewers will remember that we stopped about midway down that road to Laketown at a way station. I had originally intended to pick the story back up right where we left it, but I changed my mind in the last 2 weeks, so we're going to skip ahead.
Because you can do that, because you're the DM.
Yep, it's true. I get to decide how things go. So we're going to just go right ahead and move on to Laketown. There was a rock and land sharks and other things that perception checks didn't see. So that is where we are going to pick up. So the caravan made a stop at the way station. It was a peaceful stop. There was some brief conversation to be had with some travelers. And then the group picked up the next morning and headed south the rest of the way to Laketown. Laketown is an odd sort of place because it is a little bit in between. It was originally a small sort of settlement where traders just kind of hung out and stayed because it was an easy middle ground between Dawn's Harbor and the Chancel and Lumia and Nibiri. And so it was just as easy to set up camp in this location. And as that camp became more and more formalized, it grew into a town. Humans, being the excellent mainers that they are, seeing this town growing on the edge of the lake, called it Laketown, because humans are basically that way. They are mean when it comes to naming things. Laketown has since grown into a thriving town center with quite a bit of commerce that travels through it. It is also known for a few major points of interest, some of which we may see today. And in particular, it is technically a part of the Kingdom of Dawn's Harbor, but it pays a fair bit of taxes to ensure almost complete autonomy from the crown. The government of Laketown, such as it is very much of the opinion that unless it has to do with money, they don't really care a whole lot. And money talks very loudly in Laketown. Those who are successful and bring quite a bit of funds will find themselves in a very nice and pleasant time. Those who are destitute, not so much. So that is Laketown. The town is abuzz as 5 Point Strike arrives with quite a bit of activity because there are a number of diplomats in town prepping for a summit coming up this coming week. The town itself, I have given the players a map, and the road is coming in from the northwest and headed into sort of the market district area, right off the road, headed towards the lake itself. The caravan will pull into the market district. And in Laketown, there are shops of almost every possibility that you can put forward. There are a number of shops that sell magical items as well as components and that sort of thing. Arms and armor are sold here. Foodstuffs, textiles, basically anything you can come up with are somewhere to be found in the stalls in the market district, or in one of the more permanent shops that are set up. The largest point of interest in Laketown is probably Meridio, the Temple of Mending. It is dedicated to the healing aspect of Otrix, the god of life and death, and is a great big dragon-shaped temple on a hill. The temple is quite literally carved in the relief of a dragon sitting with folded wings wrapping around. And in that temple, healing of all sorts is available for those in need. It is also one of the few places in Laketown that provides food and other succor, so to speak, without necessarily requiring money in exchange. It is something of an anomaly within Laketown. So with that, we will open up as the caravan pulls in. The caravan driver will thank all of you. Alma is going to retire to an inn to double check on something real quick. And we will keep her safely out of harm's way in that regard. And let the four of you explore as you will. So what would you like to do?
I'm hungry.
Well, the market district itself has a number of food stalls. There's also the Siren's Well, which is a very famous inn right on the edge of the lake that has a 24-hour stew pot going. A trio of sisters utilizing magic so that they do not need to sleep as much. Literally keep the stew pot going with fresh food around the clock. They also have a number of other foods that are available there as well at that particular tavern, but that is what they are famous for.
Robin will speak up and say, well, it depends on your fare there, Moonchild. We got stalls in the market that are good for a quick bite on the cheap, but then there's a trio of lovely lasses who keep a stew pot going towards the water. Either one will fill your stomach, but I'll say there's probably more to be overheard in the market, in case we're looking for news of how to get to Lumia.
Well, and the street carts in the market, I've heard, are just incredible. Like, they're supposed to be better than a restaurant.
I really like that. Let's go there.
Let's do food carts. I'm so glad to be back in a city again.
Oh, speaking of, there's got to be something that would work better for my name in this town. I'm afraid using the name Robin might be a little obvious.
How about Ziggy?
Ziggy?
I've never been a Ziggy. I could be a Ziggy.
I mean,
Have you been with a Ziggy?
I've
Scratch
seen,
that, never mind.
There's actually a constellation called the Ziggy, so it kind of reminds me of Robin. I mean, not Robin.
Ziggy it is. It works. I like Ziggy. I'm Ziggy. And with that, Robin touches his cloak of many fashions, which he's keeping on him to more or less obscure his face while they're in public. But he just runs his fingers along the trim, and all of a sudden it's like the whole garment turns into this almost like shimmery silver with lightning bolts on it. With red and blue lightning bolts all over it.
How did you know that the Ziggy constellation was lightning?
Just seemed right.
Well, you are right. That's what it is. It's practically the face of a person that has a lightning scar. No, a lightning sigil. It's something.
Sounds like an insane lad to me.
No.
I like him. Like his style. Ziggy it is. And so, yep, Robin has his hood up, but it's got this shimmery lightning bolt repeated pattern all over it now. Then, to the market, friends.
Yes, please. I would really like some sort of a bread or muffin or something like that.
And so Robin basically points everyone the way to the market. He doesn't necessarily want to walk in front, but he keeps indicating where they should go.
As we're walking toward the market, Gloriosi's going to look over at Luna's and be like, do constellations ever give off, like, stardust? Like, I've heard that's a thing.
Like what?
Like, stardust. Is that a
Stardust.
component?
I think there's actually a component for that, but I'm not. I don't know how to do that or use that just yet. I'm still learning.
Yeah. No, I was just wondering if, like, Ziggy Stardust is, like, a thing.
Lunas,
Yes.
when you create your constellations, there is
Yeah.
a little bit of like sparkle that flutters off of them sometimes. Is that technically stardust?
I think so. I really don't know my powers. It's I am considered a druid, but not much of a nature druid. It's weird. I can see the energy around everything, and I just manipulate that into whatever I can. And I think I read this one time that the stars are all of us. It's pretty much because star energy is all around us. And I can see that, and I can transform that and change it to something that can heal or harm or whatever. So I think it is technically Stardust.
Oh, what if we turned Robin into... Because let's be real, Robin, you're not very subtle, even when you're trying to be. So, what if we still let Robin be Robin, but under the new name? But then, Lunas, you can help use the Ziggy constellation to, like, make it more...
Robin?
Grandiose? Is that the word I'm looking for?
So you're saying Moonchild needs to help me sell the illusion?
Yes.
Well, that's a
And then you can call yourself Ziggy Stardust, and then it's a thing.
I'm gonna go ahead and say, Trinket, we don't know what the Ziggy constellation does when Lunas calls upon it. I'm happy to be healed by a puppy. However, I don't know what the effects of a Ziggy constellation will do to me. And
Let's find out.
That equally scares and excites me.
No, we can experiment with magic later.
Lunas, you
Fair.
can cast it. Lunas, you can cast it on me if you need to. I'm more sturdy than...
I don't know what it does. I don't want to hurt you.
Goals for another time, then. For the time being, I think our Moonchild needs to fill his stomach, and I would not mind joining him at all.
Same.
I can change your. Oh, all right. Well, actually, you already have the lightning there. No, okay. At one point, I do want to try out the Ziggy Stardust, the Ziggy constellation.
What does it look like when you say you can see the energy like around
It's
everything? Like, what is it like an aura?
Let me see. And I just put on my goggles, and they start they light up with the teal energy, and I just look to the sky and look down. Okay, so I see it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's another one here. There's 5 stars. If I connect them, it kind of looks like a lightning, I guess. Yeah. Might be lightning. I don't know.
I can't believe you enchanted your goggles without me.
I always had this goggles like this, Gloriosa. This is how I do my stuff. It's how I remember stuff. I'm sorry.
One of these days, Glorios is going to get her hands on those goggles.
No, she won't. No,
she has to know how the sausage gets made.
No, she won't. All right, bread, bakery,
food.
So the market district of Laketown is mostly made up of temporary stalls that are just row upon row, almost like a flea market-esque sort of thing. And there are probably a couple hundred people by the time mid-morning that you've reached it, moving up and down. The stalls are generally grouped in areas by like. So there is an area that there are a number of food sellers with various stalls that you can go. Everything from raw materials, bushels of wheat and that sort of thing, to, finished products, actual loaves of bread and that sort of thing. And there's also a number of smaller stalls that are kind of scattered throughout where there are sort of street food, as you would think of it in Dawn's Harbor, the sort of thing that's easy to eat while you're walking, that generally is not particularly expensive as far as that goes. Various meats on a stick, chicken, pork, that sort of thing. Also hand pies, not unlike what Dawn's Harbor has in the pie shop, although considerably more simple. Bread. There are a few places that even sell soups and stews in a bread bowl, so that you can eat the thing.
That's the thing? Oh, sorry.
Yep. So there's all sorts of different food. The smells all sort of mingle together as much as it would normally be a very pleasant smelling sort of experience. The scent of all of the various foods kind of all commingle together and make it not unpleasant, but all sort of just, it's a lot of olfactory noise, for lack of a better term. It's tough to pick something out specifically until you're sort of right at the stall and can smell it in that regard.
I never seen soup inside of bread.
It will change your life, and the
can
truth
we
will
try
set
it?
you free.
Can
Absolutely.
we try it? Can we go?
We would love to try it.
Yes.
100%. And what would be like, Strike, what would be kind of their prize, comfort food? I know that low country areas have lots of shrimp and crawfish kind of deal, and Baltimore has its crabs. What does Laketown have?
Laketown does a fried fish, very fish and chips sort of style, but instead of French fries or potato chips, it's generally served with a small piece of bread, both to sop up some of the oil from the fried fish, and also to provide a little bit of tang to it, as it's a sourdough style sort of bread.
Nice. All right, so then Robin will direct everybody over to where we could get some soup in a bread bowl, and Robin will order the fish on a plank, which, if it's okay that I name the dish that real fast, yep. I'm going to name it a fish on a plank. And yep, there we go. He'll point out a particular stall and go ahead and order for everyone. So, excuse me, one fish on a plank over here, 2 stews and bread, and Glory?
Fish kebabs. The kebabs are good.
And then spear the salmon, please.
The stall itself is doing a fairly brisk business. There is a tall elf that is currently ahead of you in line. And I will let Jess describe what that elf looks like.
Yeah, for sure. Tall wood elf, lightish, long blonde hair. They have a whip at their side and a long bow strung up on their back. Very green, early fall greenish, orangish, reddish leather armor. And mostly adorned in, if it's metals, it's copper. And then also they're kind of waiting impatiently, but you notice that they're already making eyes at the group of you as you place your order.
All right, and with with that, Robin kind of keeps a side eye on this new elf and
New friend.
Okay, yes, we'll Robin will refrain from labels, but he'll keep his like just in the corner of his eye while he does the money exchange with the should we call them, the monger?
Yeah.
The
Merchant.
merchant. Well, monger's a respectable term, and it's a respectable profession. You can monger many things in the market.
Very true.
I prefer to think of them as a stew monger. And so while Robin settles up the tab with the stew monger, he's keeping an eye on this wood elf. How much coin does that drop, Robin?
It'll come to a silver piece even for all four of you.
Oh, nice. Well, okay, so a silver piece in total.
Yes.
I like that. That's why we dine in the market.
God, I want to go to a market.
Tish will also notice that the wood elf keeps eyeing our group, and we'll just keep
Tish,
an
give
eye.
me an intelligence check.
Okay.
D&D doesn't really have a memory check, skill check per se, and history isn't necessarily really appropriate. So we're going to just go with a straight up intelligence check.
Okay.
It's a fair call. It's a good call.
That is a 15.
Okay. So I am going to assume that at some point in your history that Tish and Alma have talked about their past in some way, shape, or form. The wood elf that is looking at you sounds familiar. It's not as much as, oh, this is so and so much as it is unusual to see a warrior utilizing a whip, first and foremost. It's not a common weapon. But there's something about the description of this wood elf that rings a bell in your mind.
Tish will just turn, because the wood elf is behind us, correct?
No, it was in front of you.
Got it. Okay. Tish will kind of just pay a bit more attention to the wood elf, trying to recall where they know this description from, while also trying not to make it too obvious that that's what they're trying to do, but
Like glancing, like.
Yeah.
It's the don't look now, but over there sort of moment.
Yeah, I would say that subtlety is not Tish's strong point, but when it comes to like observing and stuff like that, she's actually not terrible at that because it's kind of her job. So. But.
I do have like a high passive perception. Do I see also that this person is looking at us?
Yeah, it's not.
It's not subtle.
It's subtle for most people, but it's probably easier for Lunez to tell, in part because the elf is unusually attired. Like, this is obviously not someone from around here.
Oh, okay.
As far as that goes. So it's probably easier as far as someone that was already somewhat eye-catching to start with. Mm-hmm. And then, as long as I'm glancing at this person just in general, they're looking at me.
Oh, and also this person is wearing like leaves all around them.
Yes, they're definitely attired as
Okay.
someone from the forest.
Oh, then okay, I'll take this. I'll just. Is that person looking at us, Gloriosa?
Do I hear this strike?
I'm reasonably certain that with your ridiculous perception that you
Yeah, I'm not
hear
being subtle
everything.
either.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Cool. I would probably respond as soon as Lunas said anything. Just, yeah. Yeah,
hi.
I am. Hey.
Hi, I really like your leaves.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
Would you like a cookie? And I offer you a bag of it. I just open up a bag of cookies, reach out, and offer you a cookie.
Can we get a refresher on what the cookie bag looks like?
It's something like this. It's a white bag with sewn into it. It's just Lunes. It says Lunes, and it's sewn by my mom.
Can I do an insight on this bag? On see if this thing feels suspicious?
Sure.
That's
This
a
is the
21.
first time. This is the first time anybody has done that.
The vibes from the bag of cookies are as immaculate as anything found on Euphoria.
Well, hell.
Checks out.
Thank you very much.
Oh my god, you actually have a cookie.
I
They're
came
really-
prepared.
So they look like shortbread cookies, kind of like shortbread cookies, and they have like what's that, powdered sugar all over them.
This is phenomenal. Did you make these?
Yeah, I did.
I love this.
You're really
Thank you.
tall.
I like to think I'm average for my race, but I guess that's relative.
I mean, yeah, everybody's really tall for me anyway. My name is
Sorry.
Lunas.
For staring, I'm Sithrel. Just that coat. Your friend's coat is kind of stands out, don't you think?
Yeah.
It's kind of great. I like it. No offense. I do like it. It's just kind of
Robin-
a silver coat with lightning bolts all over it any day.
Robin will like he doesn't really like peek up much from his hood. He's still trying to rein in those more I guess what's the word I'm looking for? Fabulous
He's like-
impulses.
Aggressively shoving food in his mouth every time he wants to make a quip of a bad
Yeah, he's trying to curb his oh god, there's a word I'm trying to find in my head, but I'm not finding it. He's just trying to curb his Robin impulses and
Curb his bravado?
there you go. And he's just gonna be like, thanks, my mom made it.
Your mom.
Oh, Ziggy, your mother made that cloak?
Absolutely. Wonderful
Ziggy?
woman.
Hold on. Ziggy what?
Ziggy Stardust.
Yeah, your passive insight is higher than what you'll need for that one.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm Sithrel Butt Trumpet. That's great.
I had a friend who played a good butt trumpet.
Roche.
What?
She said her name was Cethil Butt Trumpet, and you know, we all know someone who plays a good butt trumpet. So
Is it you, Ziggy? Are you the friend?
no, I play guitar.
Everybody farts. It's fine.
Everybody farts. At when you say farts, Lunas just starts giggling.
We don't.
What do you mean? Really?
You don't. What? Are you well?
Of course.
Oh, wait. You mean you don't like farting, or you don't fart?
Huh.
We just don't.
That's the most interesting thing.
Wait.
I've
No.
heard.
You still didn't
like,
answer the question. If you don't
Tieflings
like
don't,
it,
or like
you don't like it, or you don't do it.
your family doesn't, or
No, we just don't.
You don't do it or don't like it. I'm still confused.
This is our show.
How do you not like something that you don't do?
Okay. All right. There we go. All right. So we figured it out. Still. Ooh.
you
Okay.
are an interesting bunch. Again, sorry for staring. It's the coat kind of.
Well, you are quite interesting yourself.
Oh, thanks.
Not very many carry that weapon of choice. As
It's
Tish
unconventional.
glances at your hip, where the whip
Yeah.
is.
It's unconventional, but I quite like it.
Where are you from?
Nibiri.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm here with my sister.
Who's your sister?
Alara.
Do I know that name, Strike?
Give me a history check. That one is
Okay.
legit for history.
Oh yeah. 19.
The name rings a bell. Without a surname, it's kind of hard to tell, but that name has been in politics and such in Nibiri for a while. So it's certainly possible that there's someone in politics in some way.
What does Robin know about that one, seeing as Robin has some history with Nibiri?
Well, let's do a history check and
Let's
see
do
what
that.
Robin knows about that.
Okay. I didn't know what you were going to give to me based on like backstory work or what you were going to make me roll for, so here we go. Let's do history. Ooh, that was a 18 on the die. My history is... That's a 21 altogether.
Damn.
So, Alara is actually a known diplomat out of Nibiri, from a family of politicians. So, someone in the family business, so to speak.
Isn't Alara in politics of some sort? Is that who your sister is in Nibiri?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that. I'm not a politician. I'm more of the muscle kind. Alara does all the thinking. It's not my thing. I came here for fish. Living in the woods, not a lot of fish. So,
Well, we definitely understand the brawn, not the brains thing.
pretty much. Yep, that's exactly how I put it. Yeah.
Well, lots happening in Laketown today. Seems like there's plenty of comings and goings from everywhere.
When was the last time you were in Nibiri?
I mean, we made our way down not that long ago. So, I don't think we've been on the road for too long. I couldn't put a day on it.
Strike, could I deduce that they were probably there when Tish was assigned to Alma?
Oh, absolutely. With the lifespan of elves, that's almost certain.
Yeah, because in the grand scheme of things, it hasn't been that long
No.
since
No,
Tish
absolutely.
got here. Interesting. We just came down from Nibiri not too long ago.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
What for? If you don't mind me asking.
To check up on a friend.
Okay, fair enough. There's been a lot of weird stuff going on.
That is for sure. Yes. It is interesting that our paths have never crossed in Nibiru.
I'm not. I don't. I'm not. I'm good at my job. I'm not exactly good at like rules. So.
Oh, we
Then,
definitely understand that. Yes.
So you and your sister are here on business or
Oh yeah,
traveling through?
business for sure.
Oh, you have business in Laketown, or are you headed somewhere else?
At this point, Sithra like visibly locks up. They're kind of like, fuck, I probably said way too much already. Not sure what I should say or shouldn't say. Where the hell is Alara? Like that, like this is all visibly going through their head. They're not trying to hide anything. They're just like, we're here on business. I'm not sure I can say much more than that, though.
Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. We didn't mean to put you at, on edge.
I really have no idea, like, even remotely, what I'm not supposed to say at this point in time.
If it makes you feel any better, we're here on business too.
That does make me feel a little better, yeah. Or do you always travel together, the four of you?
Yeah. Yes, we're actually called. Oh, wait. Before that,
Our other companion is off doing something. So there's typically 5.
5.
yes.
You?
Yes.
Yes, we tend to call ourselves the 5-finger slap of death. You see, we are what you might call fixers.
Oh, cut the crap, Ziggy.
I'm sorry, are you a dragon?
Am I a dragon? What kind of question is that?
Are you a dragon sister or one of the
Lunas.
sisters?
A dragon sister?
Lunas.
Yes.
Lunas, you cannot just ask people if they are dragons.
No,
So
no,
you're-
I support this question. No, I support it.
We've been through some shit.
So you're a
Dish.
5-point strike.
I'm looking very closely at Cithrel. Gloriosa is looking like very closely at Cithrel, waiting for an answer. Like obviously waiting for an answer.
I don't know what I can say to assure you that I'm not, other than that, like, it'd be really fucking cool to be a dragon, but I'm definitely not. This is as cool as I get.
Yes, it would be very cool to be a dragon.
I think so.
Yes.
I'm sorry, we've been through a lot of people who pretend they're something and they turn out to be an evil dragon.
There's just been so many dragons.
Yeah, I heard about that. It's,
And you have a sister.
You survived?
Well, most of us did. One of them took one of our friends.
Would you like? Do you drink? Would you like a beer or something, like, or a cider? Like, do you want
A
to?
beer sounds fantastic. Let's
Let's
sit and talk.
I guess
Well,
to answer your question, yes, this is 5-point strike and Ziggy.
Yeah. I mean,
Ziggy is not a part of 5-point strike.
that's not his
Normally.
name, but you don't have to disclose that to me. If Ziggy's what he wants to go by, that's what he wants to go by. That's fine. I'm not here to interrogate you. I'm just really interested in how you survived a dragon.
Tish
you
will
for
look at
asking.
Robin and be like, if you're going to go by a different name, I think you need to be more believable. I think they figured it out.
I just look up at Cithril and I say, "Thank you for respecting my chosen identity."
I mean, you are what you want to be. I am in no place to tell anybody what is or isn't their name. If that's the name you chose to tell me, that is the name I will use.
Robin's still a little on edge on this whole thing. He's just gonna go back to nomming on his fish and bread.
Okay, so you're not a dragon.
No, as cool as it would be.
Okay.
I fight. I'm a fighter.
Oh.
So, did you come here like to protect your sister, or did you just like come along for the ride? Like, what brings you to Laketown?
Well, there's like a meeting going on, and my sister she's got to attend. I don't pay attention to a lot of the politics of it, but she's heavily involved, and it's a big meeting that's supposed to take a good amount of time. So I'm here as muscle. I'm here to protect her. We're close.
Oh. Is there a meeting here?
You seem like you are a formidable warrior.
I do my best.
Do you want to sit with us?
Do I want to what?
Sit with us?
Sure.
Eat with us?
Thank you, Linus.
And I just start munching on my bread in a soup. No, soup in a bread. Wait.
Yep, soup and a bread.
Soup in a bread. And this is incredible. Why do we not have this everywhere?
You should taste the fresh fish if you're inclined.
Oh my goodness.
Robin breaks off a piece of his fried fish and just offers it up to Lunez.
Thank you. And I just start munching. Oh my god, what is this? I love this. This is the food that should be served no offense to everybody else, but this is amazing.
The best perk of travel by far, I will have to say.
I think you're just kind of tired of like travel rations and you're just like overreacting to the food.
That might be it.
His Carlos's cooking is really freaking good too.
No, yeah. No, it's fantastic. But this is new. It's perfect. And it's incredible. And I just start eating it.
The way that you're feeling right now, Lunez, I think is the way that everyone else feels about your cookies, by the way.
I'd confirm that.
Thank you.
It's definitely the way that I feel about your cookies. Like, they're life-changing. And I like, so just to give you like an idea of like how everyone else feels when you give them a cookie.
Oh.
It's really disarming.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Gloriosa. And I just start eating that, and then I look at your whip, and I just imagine, how does that work? And like, how do you use your whip to do stuff?
Have you never seen a whip?
No, it's my first time.
No, you're kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, here is not the place. It is very long.
Uh-huh.
But if we find an open area, I can show you a few things.
Amazing. Yeah.
Basically, it's basically, I'm not a man. My brain is not working today. It basically takes things, moves it at a certain speed, and then quickly moves it in a different direction.
Oh, I see.
You're kind of snapping something against somebody else. It hurts.
Is it magical or is it just a whip?
No, it's just a whip. But if you know
it
how to
may-
use it right, you can grab things.
With the whip. Because oh.
It has a lot of advantages if you learn how to use it. You know, anyone can swing a sword, and as soon as you're disarmed, your own sword could be used against you. I'm imagining if someone tried to steal your whip, it wouldn't do them much good.
It's a lot harder to parry, too. Barring slicing right through it with a very good, very sharp blade, there's not a lot of avoiding a whip. Unless you've got armor.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I've heard of stuff like that. Are you a druid?
No. Nah. Druidry didn't come to me naturally. But,
How did you pick up a whip? Like, did it just sort of like, did you get a present and decided to just use it? Or?
well, when you're as young and mischievous as I was, and you live in a forest where there is a plethora of vines, you get a lot of practice. You kind of wish you could kind of caveman swing through a jungle, but end up kind of cracking vines against things, and then eventually somebody sees that and goes, I could train you in a whip, and that's all she wrote.
That's super cool.
That is cool.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Whips are definitely fun to swing around, but not everyone can control them. So if you have learned how to control one and use it as a battle weapon, that is a very special skill indeed.
I can't begin to tell you how many times I kicked my own butt using this thing.
Having swung a whip around a bit, they do not feel good whenever you accidentally hit yourself with one.
Apparently, I think I know a guy who, was trying to learn a whip, lost his eye about it. Still kept trying the whip, because I guess bravery is his strong suit. But man, when whips go wrong, it's not exactly, it doesn't leave you unmarred.
Strike, real quick question. Where would Robin remember most of the fight scene going on in Laketown, the organized fighting scene?
So there is a sort of a sandy area, not actually along the beach, but it's sort of a training ground where a lot of weapons and armor smiths will sort of test equipment just north of the market district.
Mhm.
So there's a fair bit of fighting that goes on there. And then the southeast of the city has the Lowtown, where there's a lot of less, not quite, I don't know that legit is necessarily the word, but there's a lot of things that happen in Lowtown that probably
Less regulated.
a lot less regulated, wouldn't necessarily be allowed in more genteel areas.
Okay, so if Robin has a contact from his fighting days, they would be in the Lowtown.
Almost certainly.
All right. Well,
And that's probably where your current contact would be too.
fantastic. And so while this whole conversation is going on, Robin is going to send message to Glory, and he's going to say, I need to run an errand in the Lowtown. I can go alone, certainly, but if you want to stay here, if you want to stay here to keep up appearances, that's fine. But I may take someone with me just in case. And then he sends, well, I guess Gloriosa could respond to that real fast, sorry, before he does anything else.
Yeah, you definitely shouldn't go alone. I can go with you while Tish and Luna's chat with her, them.
In all due respect, he's still casting message. In all due respect, I think you might be the more socially adept of the group if I'm walking away, so you might need to stay. He then casts message to Tish and says, I think I'm going to pay a visit to our friend Phelan. Tish, you'll remember this as the elf who organized the fight where Tish and Robin first met.
Oh.
And he says, I think I'm going to go pay a visit to our friend Phelan. You're welcome to come along if you like. However, if you feel like you need to stay with the group, I'd understand.
Is anyone else going with you?
Currently, no.
You do not need to go by yourself. And it would be nice to knock on Phelan's door again.
And at that, Robin will kind of, finish off he's got like a little bit of bread and fish left that he kind of slides to the middle of, are we sitting at a table right now?
I assume that you're standing sort of in the middle of a row of stalls in the marketplace.
Well, he'll take his his little bit of bread and fish that's left, and he'll kind of look at it and shrug, and he'll say, well, I think there's more to do elsewhere before we carry on that is more pressing than my appetite. So, Lunes, would you care for what's left?
Yeah.
And so he hands the rest of his fish on a plank to Lunes and hands the sending stone, one of his sending stones, to Glory, and says, I'll be walking about the city, but if you need to reach me, you know how. And he turns to walk away.
Shouldn't we all go together? Okay, he's gone.
Did Tish follow, or did Tish just let him walk away?
Oh no, Tish is following.
Okay, I didn't. Yeah, we didn't say that out loud to the rest of the group, but
sorry.
And Robin starts walking towards the Laketown.
So I don't know. I get the impression that Cithril has somewhat of a lot of perception. So as the two are walking away, Gloriosa is watching them walk away with this expression on her face that's full of thoughts. It's not really clear whether they're good or bad or a mix, but there's just clearly a lot that she would have to say about what's going on right now that she's just sort of not saying, but I'm just saying it's pretty obvious by the look on her face.
I wouldn't know.
Nunez is cookie.
Yeah.
Fish.
Your friends are interesting.
Yeah. I like them most days.
Well, that's the nature of friendship, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially when you spend so much time with them. I'm sure it's even more going around with your sister. I have a sister that I'm pretty close to, and I really can't picture spending all of the time on the road with her.
Well, I can't complain about my sister. I will admit immediately that I'm more of the pain in the butt between the two of us. She,
Are you the younger one?
Yes. She's a lot more professional. She's got a lot of duty and responsibility, and I just gotta help her out as best as I can. And as she says, stay out of trouble.
Are you do you have any younger siblings, or are you?
It's just us.
Yeah, the youngest. The youngest is always kind of getting into trouble. Has to be kept out of trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's not for lack of trying. I mean, at some point you just kind of get, I guess, tired of everybody else having all the attention. Sometimes. At least for me.
Yeah. I know with my sister, like, just she always is like, I don't know, it just happened. Like, I was standing here and your magic items just tipped over. And then I had to pick them up, and then one of them went off. And like, that's my sister.
I mean, that is how it happens sometimes.
I mean, she couldn't just leave them on the floor and come get me, obviously.
No, well, because once it's going off, and then you know, at that point, it's already gone off. Now you just got to figure out how it works.
What are you talking about?
Sisters.
Yeah,
Younger sisters.
siblings. Do you have any siblings, Lunas?
No, I'm the only child.
Really? Because you don't really have that only child energy. Your parents are really special, Lunas.
Yeah, they raised me right. Usually, I was alone all the time, so I just try to make friends everywhere I go.
Well, you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
Cookies are a good start.
I'm glad you like them. Are you also new in this place? Do you know all the places we should go here?
How often would I have traveled out with my sister, if at all?
I mean, my assumption is that Cithril and Alara have traveled to most of the other countries at least once over the last 20 years. As far as like pleasure trips, probably not infrequently, but at the same time, travel is more fraught in this world than it is in ours. Certainly, it's not as simple as getting in a car or getting on a bus or whatnot.
Right.
But that said, Cithril is also kind of an adventurer in and of themselves. So they've certainly, explored beyond the boundaries. So I would say it would be up to you as to how familiar with Laketown specifically you are.
Well, Cithrill's going to ponder that for a moment before looking back to Lunas. Well, I'm not here often. I don't know it very well. There's like 2 or 3 shops that I really like, and I do really like fish. It's very hard to get good, fresh fish in Nibiri. So every now and then, if I need to make my way over here for any reason or another, I'll make my way over, have a good meal, and then head back home. Takes a while, of course. And I don't have much time to do that in between my duties, but I can't say I know it well enough to know what I like.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Are we keeping you from doing something? Or
Oh
are we
no,
just-
no, I'm kind of waiting on on information for whatever my sister needs me.
Oh, okay.
So I've got free reign for the time being.
What's Nabiri like? I don't think I've ever been there.
Ever been in a place where you can walk a few miles in any direction and there's just woods still? Because that's it.
No.
It's all woods. If you've ever really wanted, really craved the cleanest air you'll ever have, go to Nabiri.
That sounds wonderful.
It's great. I do love it.
So it's just surrounded by trees?
Yeah,
Like entirely? No roads?
well, the city is a tree. It
Like
is
a really big tree?
It's huge. It's the city's built on its branches. Some of the older buildings are built directly into the trunk.
You're telling me the whole city is a treehouse?
Kind of, yeah. So, a huge. It's a massive treehouse. There are these wonderful dumb waiters that take you from level to level on this tree. That honestly, it's kind of unbelievable. It's this perfect melding of science and nature, because there's a lot of stuff that probably shouldn't be there, but it blends so well. It's vines and elevators carrying you up and down. And stairs built directly into the trunk if you don't like an elevator. It takes a longer time, of course, to get wherever you need to be, but I can't say I hate it. It's beautiful.
I want to go there.
You should.
Science and nature, you say?
Yeah, you tinker?
Little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is the really good tinkerer. Like, she builds a lot of stuff.
It's true. It's true. I build. Most of it doesn't explode, but like when you say science and nature, like what? Did somebody grow the tree? Is the tree magic? It sounds like the tree is magic.
I'm not sure about magic. It's just big. If either of you are familiar with druidry, you know how you
Yes.
can make plants kind of grow in a direction you want it to, train it to do something.
Yes.
Like a bonsai.
Right. What's it? Wait.
Oh, small
So-
trees.
Very small trees.
Tiny trees.
Oh, okay. All right.
You're not training this tree to be small. You're training the branches to go where you need them to create more. You're twisting and vining and flattening these thick leaved branches to make a road as opposed to a very tiny tree. Does that make sense?
I think so. I don't know. Like, so I have a parent who's an elf, but my dad doesn't really talk a whole lot about Nabir. I think he's actually not been there. So
Well,
I'm curious.
it's remarkable. I think it's easier to see it for yourself. Personally. It's kind of hard to describe otherwise.
I know we have some shopping to do, so once everyone's done with their food, we can probably walk and talk if we have
If you don't mind my company, if I haven't overstayed my welcome, I'm happy to follow you around.
Oh no, please! I
Please
really
do.
enjoy that you were talking about trees and stuff, and I really enjoy that.
Oh, and then if you're, they don't advise going all the way to the top of Nibiri, but if you're so inclined, there is no clearer sky.
Oh, can we please go? I want to watch the stars. I need
Yes,
to
we
go
can go
there.
to the treehouse.
Yes.
I'd be happy for a visit.
Yeah,
Alara's got to taste one of your cookies.
it's true. Everybody does.
All right, I think that is a good spot to shift over to where Robin and Tish are headed southeast, while Gloriosa, Lunez, and Cithril continue to chat about cookies and trees and cities.
Well, as fight organizers are like to do, they tend to know each other, so they know which fighters are they're bringing and or paying to show up at different events, who gets cuts and everything. So the guy with the best game in town in Laketown is named Phelan. Robin and Tish are headed towards the tavern Robin last knew he operated out of, a basement in that tavern. And more like a wine cellar that this particular tavern had.
Okay.
And on their way, he goes ahead and he tries to find a less, a more discreet moment when there's not so many people around to go ahead and change his cloak to more of like a buckskin cloak in appearance and everything. And as he's going, he's kind of trying to figure out what's the play he's going to make there. He might not be talking directly to Tish about it, but he's saying, well, I know Phelan, I work with Phelan, I don't know that I trust Phelan. Phelan doesn't need to know who I am. Phelan probably shouldn't know who I really am, so let's... And as he's saying this, Tish, you're probably going to notice, like, Robin's face starts to change. Like, features start to morph a little bit to where he just starts to look... He's still looking human, just looks like a different human all of a sudden. Like, now he's got, like, more of a longer nose, and then all of a sudden the nose goes back to normal, but now he's got this, big chin or something, and you just keep, like, as he's debating with himself, you see his face changing as we're making our way to Phelan's place.
Robin.
Right, yeah. Yes, drink it.
Is your face okay?
Oh, I hope so. I normally have to, and he touches his face and he goes, that's... Am I
larger than normal?
Did I eat something? That I can't be allergic to the fish. And then, like, he starts to worry about it. He's like, I don't understand. Why is it? And as he's trying to figure it out, another part of his face kind of warps, or it's like all of a sudden he's got elf ears now, and he's like, what? No, don't like this.
Robin, are you okay?
I think I am.
Your face is, I think the way you say it is, wigging out.
That's understandable. And at that moment, like, all of a sudden, Robin has long blonde hair. Just poof. Okay. Nope. I know what this is. I know who this is.
We don't like your hair that color.
Okay. I don't like it. I don't like it either. And all of a sudden it, like, flicks back to normal. Okay. Am I me?
Are you? You?
Currently, it looks fine. Am I me? Am I me now?
You look like Robin, yes.
Great. And all of a sudden, like, as he says great, like a couple, like, more like tusk-like fangs pop out from under his, from the underside, just...
Robin, what is...
If I knew, I wouldn't have asked you first. And so he okay. Let's see. Why would it happen now? Why would it happen like this?
Well, you were just thinking about whether or not you wanted to let Phelan know that it was you.
You're right. It's 'cause I need to hide. And like, as he's like processing it, the tusk like kind of shrink down a little bit, and they become more of his normal sized teeth. Okay, all right. You hand over the toys and you give no instructions on how to use them. I see how you play. Takes a deep breath and he goes, let me try something. The tusks might have been a good touch, and like he closes his eyes and you see like the they're not so big anymore. They're just like more pronounced teeth that pop up at the bottom. All right. I saw that on someone before. Then let's see. It was more like a, and then he kind of he breathes and composes himself. You see Robin get a little bit taller, and his skin turns like a faded, muted kind of green tone, and his hair turns into a kind of a floppy mohawk across the top of his head that is now red, and he actually looks like a rather tall half-orc at this point.
This is very interesting. We've never seen you do this before.
I've never done this before. I'm trying to figure out... The hands are still human, though.
She's got really pale hands.
Oh, the hands. Okay, gotta figure that out.
Maybe if you think really hard, Robin.
I'm already thinking as hard as I tend to prefer. And then he closes his eyes and thinks a little harder, and his hands actually, like, the hands become like bigger, more muscular hands, and they're all green to match the rest of him now. And he goes, that's better. Okay.
You know, this is actually a very good skill for you to have.
I don't hate it. I just like to know when I have gifts to use. I like to know what they are.
Robin,
he says, looking up at the sky.
Who are you talking to?
I don't know where she is. I'm probably looking in the wrong direction, if I'm honest. She's probably down there. Anyways, he's so now he looks like this half orc, and says to Tish, "All right, this is better. Okay. Phelan does not need to know that I'm me and that I'm alive. So we'll meet him, and this is actually a good solution. This is much better than trying to be Ziggy at the moment. So we're looking for Phaedrus. You weren't with us, but there was a band that attacked us, and we were a little rough on one of the captives. However, the group decided that he should be able to make his own way in the world, away from this kind of sellsword life. I sent him to Phelan, told him to start training. I actually even gave him a dagger to get started. And if we can find this Phaedrus, I think he's enough of an unknown in town, and might owe us a bit of gratitude for sparing his life, that he could keep an ear out what's going on here in Laketown, especially if there are dignitaries coming through.
So we are going to Phelan to find someone named Phaedrus.
Yes, a young half-elf.
That's not confusing at all.
Nope, but here we are anyways. I don't know why they have the similar names. I don't think there's a relation. However, We need to find Phelan, who hopefully knows the whereabouts of Phaedrus. If with any luck, he's already training him, and then Phaedrus would know. Phaedrus had been at one time hired by Talia as part of the strike team, the hit squad against us. However, he was very disposable. He could have, and I think Talia was counting on that he would have died. And seeing as we made sure he didn't.
Was this when your ship got attacked?
That would be the one. That would be the one.
Oh, yes.
We did tell Tish about that, right? Like, Robin doesn't have a reason to be surprised that she knows our ship got attacked. I feel like we told her. So
I mean, it was known that the ship you were on that was on the river got attacked and you all died, and then you came back to life.
That's fair. That's fair.
That wasn't the same ship. That was the one that Talia was on, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was thought at the time that was the ship that 5 Point Strike was on.
Oh, but we did we ever say to Tish that our actual ship got attacked?
No, but Tish knows.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. There's also been a lot of downtime in between sessions, so it's entirely possible that Robin and Tish chatted about it too.
Right.
Of all the things to come up, I think that was so far back.
That might be the least of Robin's worries at the moment. And anyways, he's like, yes. He was part of the squad that Talia sent to attack our ship. But seeing as Talia sent him to his death and we made sure he stayed alive, I think we can at least use him for the moment. He doesn't have to be led into full confidence, but letting him know that he owes a favor to Robin Wayfair might lend us an ear in Laketown, for the time being, anyways.
Yes, it's surprising that anyone survived that attack.
Well, I mean, we did keep one for information, and at the end, I would have been fine had he perished in that moment, but hindsight being 2020, I'm glad Glory stayed my hand.
Well, your ship wasn't looking too hot in that moment either.
That's right. Wait, what? We didn't... Did Alma tell you how that fight played out?
No.
Oh, okay. How are your spying abilities? Because if you knew that one, we need to talk about how you gather information.
We followed you.
You followed us?
Yes.
Oh, shit. You followed us on the water. You followed us on the water. You were... Oh my... Fuck. So all that ice and yep, okay. Wow.
You're welcome.
That's a big thank you. Okay, thank you. All right. Well, now we know that.
We weren't just going to not do anything.
I appreciate that mentality. However,
that was the whole point of following you.
It was. How much did you see?
I mean, we were flying above you the whole time.
Okay.
But not too closely.
So probably didn't hear a lot of what was going on then.
Why? What happened?
Because there was this one like pirate, and he was all right. He helped a little, but at the end of it, he owes us a favor too.
Oh, was it Tommy?
That would be him.
Oh, yeah.
I mean...
He's a colorful character.
He's okay. He's all right. I would, he's useful in a fight. Can't complain.
Oh, yes. And he makes very good food.
Oh, does he now?
Yes.
See, that didn't come across. That didn't happen to come up in conversation.
Did he hit on Alma?
A bit.
And Gloriosa?
A little.
And you? And
Not
Lunes?
as much. Lunes was quite smitten, I'll have to say. He didn't hit on me as much, and honestly, I'm a little offended. However...
Are you sure he didn't hit on you, Robin?
See, I'm never often the receiving end of it, so... If he was, that went right over my head.
Was he being mean to you, Robin?
A bit. A little bit, yeah.
Was he calling you ridiculous names?
He kept calling me bird names.
That's very clever, actually.
Oh, nicknames. I get it. Okay, it was one of those things. It was, okay. That's fair. That's
actually very clever.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
That definitely sounds like something he would do, though.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Good with a knife, though.
Yes. The magical knife. The magical daggers are very useful.
Can confirm. Anyways, that's what happened. And we need to find Phaedrus because we need to make sure that we've got some eyes and ears out over here as well. So
by about this time, you have reached the inn where your contact is. The inn is right on the lake itself and is known as the Careful Oysters. It's got a big hanging sign with a couple of barrels and just an eye in a shell peeking out from in between the two of them. It is known as a sort of a gathering place for ne'er-do-wells. It is definitely the equivalent of a dive bar.
fair enough. Well, with his whole being successfully altered, Robin will make sure the hood is off of his cloak, and he's just letting it hang about his shoulders now, but it's still this like kind of rugged buckskin look, and he's his clothes were quite plain to begin with, but now they're a little bit tighter because he didn't change his clothes when he changed himself. He just made himself very tall, a little thicker.
Is this the establishment where we met?
This would not. I don't think this is the same one. I think.
Okay.
That would.
I couldn't remember if we were in Laketown or not at that point.
We had been in Laketown at that point, but I think he has moved location since then because.
Got it. Got it.
Yep. Yeah, like you have to do every now and again in the business.
Yeah. It's probably likely that you guys both met in the Fallen Giant, which is an adventurer's tavern, where it's a little. It's not that it is a better class than the Careful Oyster, so much as it's a slightly different clientele. The Fallen Giant is built as though it were from the torso of a giant that has sort of fallen over. It was run by dwarves, and is a place where adventuring groups often go for work. Whereas Careful Oyster is the sort of place that you go for, the quiet talk about jobs that you're not supposed to do even in a more or less lawless place like Laketown.
All right. So
well,
what do we?
Not as colorful of an establishment, but I guess this is the appropriate place to meet with Phelan.
Right. This one is more of his office than his arena, I guess I should say. And so as we walk in the door of the Careful Oyster, what is it? What kind of layout we're seeing when we walk in here? The
common room of the Careful Oysters is a big open space. There's a fire pit off to one side, more fireplace than fire pit, really, because it's built into the wall. But there are a bunch of tables that are sort of laid out, but they're spaced a little further than you would see in a typical tavern. As a result, there are fewer tables, but there's a little more privacy at each one because you're not sitting quite so close to other patrons. There are a few booths, and they have sort of a raggy sort of privacy curtain you can pull across, as well as, tables that are just spaced far enough that you're not necessarily going to be easily overheard. And it becomes really simple to mind your own business while you're there.
So, out of the individuals that I see in the common room, do I see Phelan or anyone?
Phelan is sitting at a table not too far from the fireplace, off in one of the corners, and seems to be having a bit of lunch.
Fair enough. All right, so Robin will just saunter up to that table, and as he approaches, he's not trying to do it stealthily, so hopefully, Phelan's taking notice of him. And as he walks up, he'll just nod, and then he'll go into like a more affected voice, where he says, "Looking for a fresh fighter, fresh set of hands, bit of wet work to do. Told you the one to look for."
He gives you a look up and down, and takes a long moment to sort of look. Tish, are you right there with Robin, or are you hanging?
Yeah. No, Tish is right there with him. Just kind of standing there quietly, looking like the tough mercenary fighter that she is.
So is this the sort of work that you don't want to get your hands dirty on, or the sort of work that she can't handle? Because those are going to be two very different rates.
First of all, do we look like we don't like to get our hands dirty? And second of all, don't assume anything.
What my partner lacks in subtlety is to say that we need a bit of a scouting mission done and don't necessarily want to be connected. Not a lot of experience needed, trying to keep it on the cheap.
Well, there are certainly some folks that would fit that description. Do you have any sort of preferences?
I had a name handed around, a Phaedrus, if you've got him.
As soon as you say the name, he scowls. Yeah, he'd have been promising if he hadn't gone and fallen head over heels for the damned priestess. Now he's a pacifist and works in the temple.
What an
Easy.
interesting turn of events.
Yep, wants to heal the world. It's sickening.
Healing the world. Right. I see. Well, in that case, what fights do you have lined up? Any good bets? Any good takes?
Well, we've got a couple, but with as much heat as is coming around with this meeting they're having here this week, we're trying to keep it a little quieter. Nobody wants to run afoul of dignitaries.
Right. Oh, that's disappointing. Well,
You and the Are you in the mood to take out some aggression, my friend?
Yes, but I think I'd rather not get my arse handed to me. All things
I was
fair.
talking. Tish was talking to Robin.
Oh, okay.
Take out some aggression. Well, it'd be nice. But since this chap here seems to just be doing his best to run a legitimate business, let's go see what healing the world looks like.
Aw, you don't want to put on a show?
And he looks around at the folks in the inn and what does he see in the inn right there?
So this isn't a place that gets a lot of business for its food per se. So it's not super populated for lunch. Most of the folks that will come in here will come in later on. It's a lot of people sort of looking for extra work after a shift as opposed to people that do all of their business in a place like this. So there's maybe half a dozen people that are sort of quietly eating. There's a table of 3, and there's another couple in a booth that are just sort of quietly talking, keeping their voices low, that sort of thing.
And, well, Robin, after looking around, leans in a little bit, and when he does, he pulls his hood back up. But next time we're in town, when the heat's off, and when we might be looking for a piece of the game, he closes his eyes, and when he does, just his head or just his face transforms into a long snout black dragonborn with fiery red eyes, and he looks right at Phelan and goes, "We'll want a cut." And face goes back to the orc. Hope that's clear.
That's a neat trick.
And so, and that's when Robin will just stand up straight, and said, "But don't worry, we'll find you when the time comes. Have a good day, Phelan."
He'll nod at both of you and go back to his meal.
Tish will take out a gold and flip it on the counter. Always a pleasure, Phelan.
He doesn't grab for it immediately. He sort of lets it sit for a second, and then we'll quietly slide it over as you are headed out of the door.
Nice. As we leave the door, Robin will look at Tish, and money's just nothing to you, isn't it?
Is it supposed to be?
It doesn't have to be, but realizing that it is something for other people could be to your advantage. And then he goes,
We've worked a lot.
That's true. Phelan will remember that. Hopefully that comes in handy later. Anyways, how long has it been since Robin first changed his form?
Probably about 10, maybe 15 minutes.
Oh, great. Wow, that didn't take long at all. So Robin says, all right, well, if we know where our Phaedrus is, let's head to this temple.
Well, you did want him to make a better life for himself.
Had no idea he was going to go this direction.
So the Temple of Mending sits on top of a hill, more or less in the center of Laketown. It looks for all to see as a large dragon, 6 or 7 stories tall, seated with wings and outstretched and surrounding. There's a large open area with benches and trees that regularly produce fruit for any to take. And then the temple itself is housed in the body of the dragon.
All right. And
would Tish know? You might have just said it and I missed it. Which dragon this is a temple for?
So this is a temple that is dedicated to the healing aspect of Otrix, the god of life and death.
Okay.
And as you are walking up, there is the tips of the wings are open so that you can enter. And right at the entrance, there is a large podium where there is a book made with silver pages. And the book is turned to a specific verse written in Draconic that basically says, for those who are willing, all are welcome here.
And Tish will read that aloud to Robin.
Well, I've been to many a house that had that as their motto. Then he's... as we enter the chamber that we walk into, are we looking at more of like a vestibule or like a...
So the area that you first enter into is almost open air. The wings do offer cover from the elements, but it is definitely still feeling outside. There are trees growing at the end of each row of benches, and there are a variety of fruits that hang low enough that you can easily reach up and take some. There are also baskets that are attached to the ends of the benches, where there are other fruits that look like they have, someone who grabbed 2 and didn't want one, sort of as a place to sort of put them.
Right.
And it all leads up to there's a podium where someone would speak, and then there's a large double open door behind it that leads into the temple proper.
Okay. Who do we see? Do we see, I guess, worshipers?
There are a few temple acolytes that are sort of moving around, placing some fruit in baskets and that sort of thing. And there are a couple of people that have come and are sort of sitting in the benches waiting. And there is someone who looks to be limping or favoring a leg that is speaking quietly with one of the acolytes. They wear long white robes without a hood as a way of identifying themselves.
All right. Do we see Phaedrus anywhere, or do we just see, can we notice a difference between any of the acolytes that would indicate, like, who is in charge here?
Give me a perception check.
I will do just that.
That's a 12 for a perception check for me.
Perception, and that's going to be a dirty 20.
So Robin will notice that along the collars, some of the acolytes have what looks like silver piping along the collars, silver thread, whereas others are more plainly decorated. That seems to be the only difference as far as their attire goes.
Right. Okay, well, Robin will approach the nearest one with that silver collar going on. And
okay.
He walks up and is there a greeting that the cult of Otrix would use? Should I religion check that?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a religion check.
All right, see if I can play the game here. Oh, that is a natural one on that religion check. Robin doesn't know shit. Yeah. I mean, his religion is a +3, but with a natural one, we're just gonna go ahead and I'll take the L on that. So he says something very clumsily like, "A very draconic day to you, sir. And would you be able to point me in the direction of a young man that I seem to have lost track of? I find that he's in your service."
Well, I know that there are many young men and young women and young individuals in the temple. Are they among the wounded, or do you have a name?
This would be a half-elf who would have come to join your order. Goes by Phaedrus.
Oh, Phaedrus. Yes, I think he's helping with a procedure at the moment, but I can certainly check. If you'll wait a moment, I'll be happy to go and see if he's got a moment.
Absolutely, not at all.
All right. And the acolyte will nod and turn and go back into the temple, and I think that is where we will take our break for the moment.
Nice.
So it is just about 10 to 2 on the East Coast. So we are going to try and be back by 5 after 2 in the hopes that we will be back and running by 10 after 2. So take a moment, stretch, get a water, breathe, do all of those good things, and we will be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for bearing with us on that break. I hope you got some water, some stretch time. Take care of yourselves. It's really easy to sit in front of a computer and not notice the passage of time. Certainly for a lot of us neurodiverse folks, that happens a lot. So we are back. We are going to jump back over, in fact, from here, from the temple. We're going to go back over to Luna's, Gloriosa, and Cithril, who were eating their food and enjoying themselves in the market. Was there anything in particular that you all were headed for? Did you want to go to an inn and sit down? What was your plan?
So I think we're walking and shopping. I think Gloriosa is going to be keeping an eye out for things like healing potions. Mostly healing potions. Possibly like spell components that either she needs or that Robin needs, like just making sure that we're stocked with components, healing potions, food. We do like food, stuff like that.
Okay.
Robin might have.
Go ahead.
Sorry, just Robin might have told you to be on the lookout for like a few components like jade dust or things like that, because that would be required for a couple of his spells that he is wanting to be prepped for in the future.
Does this edition have eschew components?
So it has arcane focuses, which you can use, but they do not work on components that have a gold piece value.
And that's what he's looking for. He's looking for his spells generally, a couple of the spells that he likes or wants to use in the future need about 10 gold of jade dust per use.
That's spicy. Okay.
So the nice thing about Laketown is that with the marketplace and everything that is coming here, components cost precisely what they would cost out of the book. So if it is 10 gold pieces of jade dust worth of jade dust, it will cost 10 gold pieces in Laketown as opposed to some of the other areas in Zaria. Similarly, potions pretty much run the base cost as far as that goes. So a basic potion of healing, as far as that goes, is, I want to say, is it 50 gold for the basic healing potion? I feel like that's correct, but I might be wrong. Because it's not easily findable in a super simple way, because that's just the way that they decided to put stuff together this time. Yeah, 50. That's That's what I thought. So your basic healing potions will run you 50 gold pieces. Obviously, if you want to step it up to potions above and beyond that potency, you can, and those will cost more as well. But those are all readily available. There are several stands in the marketplace as far as that goes. And there are also a few standing shops in a sort of a magical district, so to speak, that is northeast of the market itself in the Hightown area. These are long-standing arcane shops and the sorts of places that have been in that community for quite some time. So you can pretty well stock up on anything that you are looking for as far as that goes.
Okay. Gloriosa, I do need diamonds.
Okay, so I guess our first stop is going to be heading toward maybe a gem store or something, because jade dust and diamonds are probably going to be found there.
Citral, would you like to come with us? We're going shopping.
Sure. I don't see why not. I could probably find something
Holy crap.
fun.
All right. Do you know where we can go to get gems and
Gems.
precious stones or
I'm
something?
just going to be looking for like the shingle with the gem drawn on the front, honestly.
Like you are here.
No, like you know the
It's very Legend of Zelda with the rupee hanging on the front.
Yeah. The shingle hanging outside the shop door, like with the picture of the gem. Like that's what I'm looking for.
Oh, I see.
There are gemstone dealers. Most of them are actually southwest of the market in Middletown. And so it's really easy to find those. There are several that deal in diamonds and other precious stones.
Yeah. Usually I see them on my way passing through. I don't usually go in. Southwest-ish. This, you know what? Follow me.
How many do you need, Lunas? Do you need like one big one or a bunch of little ones, or?
At least that they are. It's pretty specific, but they're at least worth 300 gold pieces.
Wow.
I know it's so specific. I know.
Well, not even specific. Like that's a pretty penny.
Yeah. Are you going to be carrying 300 gold pieces worth of diamonds around on you? Like, as we...
Well, yeah, I pretty much have to. It's.
Well, I mean, as long as you're not telegraphing it, should be fine.
No, I promise you, it's. We'll use them. It's well worth our money.
Oh, I'm sure. I trust you. I'm worried about you. That's all.
No, that's pretty fun. Well, yeah. I mean, I know you're probably. Oh, I forgot to mention. I do have a familiar. A familiar called. And you just see. Citral will just probably see just this yellow and orange and kind of like a bunny, but it has a unicorn, a horn right on his forehead, and it has like constellations drawn all over his body. And oh, I forgot to mention, this is my friend Orion.
Orion?
Yes.
I was wondering if that's just something that came with you on your way over here, and we were just not going to talk about it. That's amazing.
Yeah. He's probably okay around people, right? And I just look at Orion. Are you okay with all these people?
Brian sort of looks a lot around kind of warily and puts a little paw up to his hand, to his eyes, like looking around, and then kind of nods.
Okay. Also,
Ryan, would
yeah.
you prefer it if we got you like a pouch or like a baby wearing scarf or something for Luna's?
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Orion, would you be okay with that? I don't know if Orion can actually understand me.
Orion does have the intelligence to understand, just not speak. So he kind of nods.
So that is added to our shopping list. A baby wearing sling for Orion.
Like I can have Orion here?
We should get you one of those like reverse backpack things that you can put on your chest so that his little legs are dangling out and he can look around.
I can, yeah. Let's
That
find
sounds
those.
precious.
Let's go find some stuff. And I just hurried up and see if I see anything that sells stuff like that. Or also the gemstone shop.
So there's definitely a gemstone shop as far as that goes. And there is also plenty of textile shops that offer shawls and scarves and slings and other such things.
Awesome. Let's get one of those.
Question for you, GM. Is Utharia round?
The planet, or
Like, are we like if people from Nibiru go east, are they gonna hit the Dragon Isles or are they just gonna fall off the edge?
they will hit the Dragon Isles. I'm not 100% certain if there's something in between those. Nothing has been discovered as of yet. But yes, if they go far enough, yes, they will come upon the western edges of the Dragon Isles.
So, Cithril, thank you so much. I'm so sorry. Cithril, do you guys have like in Nibiru, it's way out west, do you have trade, like overseas trade, or is it all just, is the forest too dense? Like,
we have trade, not overseas. It takes a bit to get by. Our trades district is kind of starts at the base, and depending on which dumb waiters available first, it kind of goes through the levels as it needs to. But as far as trade goes, it's not really by way of sea, it's more caravan trades. Anything that can pass through.
So do you have, I don't know, we've heard a lot of rumors about like trade from Dawn's Harbor to the Western Isles, and it's not the most desirable kind of trade with them. And I was just I guess I was just wondering if Nibiru has that problem as well.
It depends, honestly. We're not going to say no to travelers or anything like that, but you can't really tell the intent of a person until they're already kind of doing the bad thing, if that makes sense. Like, we're not going to know a caravan's bad until we see their goods, which at that point they've already set up shop.
It's true. Except, well, this trading is more, their goods are a little more alive than most goods.
Oh, like animals? Like horses and things like that?
So there's just been, I think, rumors of people being taken from Dawn's Harbor to be taken to the Western Isles. And that's what I was wondering, if Nibiru has the same problem with it from the other direction.
Let's see. We try to nip that in the bud as best as we can, but...
Oh, obviously.
I imagine things slip their fingers. It's if somebody is afraid of their captor, we'll say, it's easier to tell a lie and quote save your life than to go to authorities who may not get in there in time to do anything. It all depends on the survivability and I suppose wherewithal of whoever's keeping these people hostage. We don't, from what I understand, we don't take too kindly to that sort of trade, though.
I mean, obviously,
to removing people's autonomy isn't. Kind of can't stand that. What are you?
I don't know. I'm wondering if they're just hitting Dawn's Harbor, or if it's like a wider network than we realized. And I just want to. I'm just kind of curious, I guess.
Oh, you're trying to get to a source.
Well, we sort of know. I don't know. So, like, all right. It's a really distasteful subject, but I'm going to kind of lay it out a little bit. That there seems to be a trade going from where we come from, Dawn's Harbor, over to the Western Isles of people being taken. And is it just like on that side of the continent, or are they taking from other places? Are other places supplying them with people? Like, is it also, are they coming from Lumia? Are they coming from Nibiria as well? I want to know how widespread their net is.
That's worth investigating.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if you had heard of anything like that. And I'm really sorry to bring up such a terrible subject. It's just something that we've run into recently that seemed like a good thing to figure out.
Well, the less we talk about it, the harder it is to find out, I would argue. So let's, I feel like I'm under the assumption then that it would probably be harder to do anything with or within Nibiria, just due to the nature of the city itself. With these people specifically traveling to places by the sea so far, from what I understand, since they're targeting Dawn's Harbor and going to Isles, it would be probably easier to peer into the coastal lands.
Are there like villages on the coastal side of the forest around Nibiru?
Yeah. Smaller, but worth investigating. People don't usually go to, I guess, higher authorities over missing villagers, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Out of character. Sorry, I'm not laughing at the subject matter. I'm laughing at how I'm accidentally interrogating Strike, like, through Freckles.
I'm just glad that we did Nibiru as a map before this, because I actually gave Freckle a lot of the information about Nibiru so they know. And I was like, wow, I'm really glad that we did that in that order, because otherwise we would have had
Good job, past me.
I'd be scribbling down so many notes, just like world building was like, I need to know this.
Do they just like, is there like a central, I guess it's just the city that would be ruled, and then each place would be ruled by its own people, and there'd be just a whole bunch of separate ruler people.
Sort of. It's like it's a tiered system. You've got your main officials at, I guess, your capital, and then underlings who report from vast or various other places. It's like any old any other normal sort of kingdom.
And what kind of rulership does Nibiri have? Like, tell me more about your. You still live there, right? Or have you not been there a while?
Yeah, I'm still there. Shrike, is it a kingdom? Is it
It is run by a council of equals,
Okay.
with the head of it being the first among equals, which has
Okay.
a specific elven name that I do not recall off the top of my head, and I can find, but it will take me a while to dig through all of my TMs with Goblin Katie to find out what that name is. So I'll post it on the Twitter later when I find out.
so it is are these council members voted on, or are they, or is it
They are voted on by areas of the city.
okay. To Glory, Sithro replies, well, it's a council, but it's democratic in nature. Everybody's voted on. It's not like anybody inherits their seat. You pick. You pick. There's voting systems, there's parties, and before any decisions are made, they run by the council, and if council decides that should be law, so mote it be.
That's. So you don't have queens?
Not formally, no. Like if I decided to run for office, I absolutely could.
Yeah.
And anybody from Nibiri can. We all have that right. I wouldn't win. It'd be a hell of a campaign. But nothing's stopping me from trying.
Glory,
Democracy is its own thing.
Glory, why are you interrogating our new friend? What are you trying to find out?
I'm just curious. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I was interrogating. I
understand. I'm a curious person myself. By in exchange, if y'all are 5-point strike, I understand that you probably know Alma.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty well.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen her. Is she in town? If I may ask.
She had to take care of something, but she came with us, which
Yeah,
she keeps her secrets.
Yeah, that sounds like her. That's fair.
Do you know her?
Yeah, from youth.
Oh my
Old
gosh.
friends.
You knew Alma as like a child?
Relatively speaking, yeah.
What does that mean? Like, how does that work?
Well, our adulthood as elves is a little different. It's less about how long you've been here and more about your age, your rate of maturity.
Well, at the risk of interrogating further, like, what was Alma like as a little kid?
Yeah, tell us. Tell us.
Please.
I don't know if that's mine to say. We had good times. She's fun.
She's I don't know if fun is the word I would use, but definitely good natured.
She got a little stuffy before she left, but you know.
Stuffy is a word I would use.
It's just been a while since I've seen her. I'd like to I'd say hi. I don't see why not. Blast from the past. See what she's been up to.
In the market, I'm sure we can find her and
yeah, we can probably go to the inn and we'll introduce you again to her.
That'd be great. And I'm also a little curious. Stop me if it's a touchy subject. I know you explained you lost a few people, but I'm very, very interested in knowing how the fight with the dragons went in Dawn's Harbor.
Well, I was there for the first part of it. It was really chaotic, obviously. So I don't know how much I can explain of after that, but gosh, the fight in the palace was, it was right after one of the dragons had just cut down somebody who was really skilled and really strong. And I remember just being stunned. I think for a lot of the first part, I was just, or the part, I don't know. I was extremely stunned and taken aback and scared. It was scary. I don't remember being super scared at the time, but scared.
It all happened really fast.
It did happen really fast. And then there was a portal. They portaled, and there was some.
Yeah, that's when it got bad. Worst. And I don't know how, but are we supposed? Should we talk about this out loud here, not in the safe space?
Out of character, we had a huge dragon fight in the middle of the throne room of Dawn's Harbor's palace. Like, I suspect it's pretty common knowledge, but
The rumors have certainly been flying all over since.
Okay.
It would just be better to hear from the horse's mouth, especially with
That's
our
really
business
curious.
in town.
I'm sorry.
Weren't you a wolf?
That's really curious because you said horse, and I was a horse for a bit, or in that fight.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know what happened after the fight shifted, but we had, I don't remember, out of character, I don't remember if if the sisters were in dragon form for any of the fight.
Yes, they did. They did take dragon form in the throne.
In the throne room? Okay.
At least Talia did.
So did the Empress.
Did the Empress took dragon form? I didn't realize that she took dragon form until we
I
got.
don't
No,
think so.
you're right. No, you're right. They didn't until the Empress didn't until.
Right.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I don't think I have in my notes that.
It was Talia and me.
Yes, Talia and Tish. I knew there were two dragons.
Yeah, but we don't talk about Tish.
We don't talk about this. No, there was actually a lot of stuff, and it happened real fast. But I guess both Siggy and I died.
And then,
And
by
we,
some greater power, you are back.
you guess so. Yes.
Well, that's rough.
It was. It really wasn't a fair fight. We gave it all our best, but we're really, really nothing to them, to the sisters.
Well, for what it's worth, I'm glad you're relatively well, if not scarred. But scars tell great stories.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. Have you ever fought a dragon?
Oh no, not in my lifetime.
Or
I-
quick?
I would I would be remiss to say that I would look forward to it. I'm curious. I'd love to see a dragon fight from a very, very safe distance. But I've got a little more self-preservation than that to say I want to go fighting a dragon.
Yeah.
Oof.
We just had a motive to fight these dragons, and
Well,
it
they
was,
need to be fought.
well, yeah, but I mean, we also wanted to get the stone.
Well, what was it even about, if I may ask, be so bold? Just go fighting dragons because to hell with dragons,
They took our friend. They took the soul of our friend, as I think I remember, and they put it in a stone. And I really, really wanted to get that stone back.
Mm.
You did everything you could, Lunas.
I tried to, yeah.
I know. We'll kind of reach out and like squeeze Lunas in a hug.
Do we... Again, sorry if this is sensitive information, but do we know why they needed your friend? Why they needed to be a stone? This is...
I don't know.
Leverage.
Yeah.
Leverage for what, though?
They're trying to conquer the Eutharia, I guess.
I don't know a lot about dragons, but what I do know is that they hoard. Like, they hoard wealth, yeah, but these dragons, they hoard power. And they hoard control over people like it's another treasure. And they don't even think about what they're doing to the people that they're hoarding this power over. And they don't think about the people that care about those people. And they don't think about what they're doing because they don't care about any of us. They just care about their hoard. And they're just... I don't think I would ever have called something evil before I started with 5 Point Strike. And up until recently, I still wouldn't have. I've seen some terrible people, but they're not... They're thinking they make sense. But these dragons, these sisters, they just don't care. They're just evil. And so any leverage they can get... I'm sorry, I'm really upset about what they did.
No,
any leverage they can get, they take. And they don't ask, they don't respect anything except for someone else's power. And so we have to hit them where it hurts. We have to hit them in their power and make them weak enough that we can defeat them. And that's what we're just gonna have to do.
We're heading to Lumia to find an artifact. And hopefully get it before they do, so they don't get more power.
So you've got dragon sisters on your tail trying to stop you from acquiring a power they want. That's terrifying.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, and I think Ixnay on the Umiele.
What?
Luna's.
Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry.
Maybe not.
Your secret's safe with me. Quick.
And the rest of the market.
Quickly,
Sothrel
Threll is actually going to look around and see if anybody was paying attention.
Give me a perception check.
I'm sorry. Lunas is just trusting. It's one of those defects.
That's worse than it was. 8.
Actually, do you want to use my portent? Because I haven't used portents in a while. So you get a 16 on your roll.
Oh. 16 on my roll?
Mm-hmm.
Then
plus whatever you got.
That's a 21 total.
Ooh.
Okay. Well, with the 21, you can see that most of the marketplace, they're not ignoring you per se, but no one's really paying any particularly special attention as far as that goes. Most people seem to be moving about and conducting their commerce sort of on their own time, as opposed to, listening into the conversation as far as that goes.
Well, so long as we're not talking about it, I'm not sure if this is going to be valuable information to my sister, considering we're here regarding that news, that on the attack on Dawn's Harbor. Would it be too much to ask you and your party for like a written statement about what you experienced there? I don't know if it'll help at all your cause, but any insight we can get on the attack and what all the hell happened there it can't do any bad.
Like for what purpose? To get more information about it, or?
Pretty much. Any information we can get on an event that we weren't there for would probably help us to better prepare for any attacks on any other places.
Oh. I guess we could actually write it up.
It wouldn't leave my hands. If that's what you're worried about, I'd keep it very close to my chest. Probably my sister would see it, and then anybody else in the summit, but only if you're comfortable, of course.
I have a journal I can pull my notes out of and give to you of things that I saw in the throne room, although I don't know that it'll be a lot different than what our queens can offer you. But I'd be happy to do that if you want.
More witnesses with different eyes is more validating, if that makes sense. Not that whatever your queens have to say is invalid, but from the eyes of a bystander who's deeper in the knowledge and actually took to arms about it, is anything could help. And I'm not a diplomat. I don't know how this works. I'm just trying to help my sister. Trying to make sure that our home isn't attacked by dragons. Anybody else isn't attacked by dragons. I'm not equipped to fight a dragon. I'm not sure what my measly little leather whip is going to do against scales made of stronger stuff.
Right.
I didn't even think of that. That they could actually attack other places. I just was focusing on when they attack our place.
If Dawn's Harbor is a target, I don't see why anybody else couldn't be.
That's really a fair point.
If Dawn's Harbor gets too hard to do commerce in, then they may take their business elsewhere to the detriment of other places. If what I'm understanding about the situation is correct.
Yeah. Is Dawn's Harbor like a really safe, relatively safe place, well protected place, more of a?
In what sense?
Like army, like military.
They have been increasing the troops and that sort of thing, both before the attack and then considerably more after the attack.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been talk of doing other improvements and that sort of thing. How far along in that they've come is tough to tell because you haven't been back to Dawn's Harbor since the attacks. So,
okay, but it's Dawn's Harbor more of the. It's probably one of the most protected places from.
I mean, certainly it is in better shape to defend against a dragon attack than outlying villages and that sort of thing. And Laketown has almost no actual guards or troops or anything of that sort. Lumia is primarily underground, so it might be arguably more safe, but it's also underground, and if you get a dragon using its breath weapon in a confined area, that's a lot of crispy people.
Crispy people. Yeah. Okay. We should actually help out the other villages, the other places in Utharium, so they protect themselves better against them. Because I believe that if they want to, they would just go to any other place and attack that too, to get what they want, which is more power.
Well, in my opinion, it's a little odd for them to be going for Dawn's Harbor initially anyway. It's not exactly the most, how do I put it? It's not the most well-kept secret that the Queens had absolutely zero intention and or tolerance for the trading of peoples. Them going straight for Dawn's Harbor almost seems like they're goading you.
One of them was our friend, pretended to be our friend. We actually fought by their side, and well, they betrayed us. I guess that was actually the point, to make us feel weaker, to make us, because they were proud to inflict pain on us.
For some people, that kind of pain is the best kind. I'm sorry they did that to you.
That's all right.
Nobody deserves that.
No. Nobody does.
Well, this has been very insightful. I only came down here for fish. This is... You don't understand how much you've helped me out.
You caught information fish.
Information fish.
I wonder if that's like a fae fish.
Huh. Interesting. Thank you. We should are we gonna do that, Gloriosa?
Do what?
Get them our side of the attack, the point of view of the attack.
Yeah, why don't you come on back to the place we're staying, and I'll get my notes for you, and Lunas can get together something for you too.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Great, perfect. Is there anything I can do to help you in exchange? I don't have much on me, but
information about and I use my telepathy to message Gloriosa and just be like, we probably could use a little help on if they know something about the artifacts.
I think I don't know. You travel around a lot. We know that they're looking for magical weapons of immense power, artifacts in general. So, have you heard of anything like that?
Artifacts of power?
Immense power. We're talking about a notes.
Demigod level of power.
Demigod level of power is about right.
Would I know of anything like that, Strike?
Give me a history check.
No. That's a natural 1.
Oh no.
Plus 3, so 4 total.
Artifacts, you don't know her.
But knowing where they're going, and not wanting to say it out loud, would Cithrell know in their travels? Is there something they can tell them at least about the area to be on the lookout for, to at least make their journey a little easier?
You can certainly direct them to, and I will send you the information in the Zoom chat real fast.
Secret chat, secret chat.
Secrets. In the meantime, Cithrell goes, artifacts of that caliber I would probably be looking for myself, I'm not gonna lie. But given where you're going, it might be in your best interest to check out the Guild of Arcanists.
Guild of Arcanists. Okay.
They could at least help you with your travels. At least in what you're looking for. If you meet my sister, don't tell her I did this, but you could say that your friends of Alara's looking to do some research.
That's great.
That
Thank
is
you.
great. Thank you.
The Guild of Arcanists. Is this a place or a group of people?
Sounds
All of Lumia
fascinating.
is organized in guilds. So there's a guild in Lumia for darn near anything, and that's the one that Cithrell thinks you would be best asking questions of as far as the artifacts go.
Is there a guild of artificers?
There absolutely is.
Guess where we're visiting.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Cithrell.
Yeah. Of course.
Well, if you need anything from us, just let us know.
You've got enough on your plate. I'm sure we can manage. I appreciate the sentiment, though.
Thank you.
But while you're in town, I'm happy to hang out. At least until whatever goes on later goes on. Ugh, these meetings are going to be so boring.
Oh. Well, let's have some fun and go shopping at least before your meeting starts up.
Yeah, maybe I can play with a set of dice I find
Oh yeah, let's
during
do
the
this.
festivities.
Yeah.
Festivities. Nothing festive about it. Yeah, let's
Oh,
find
boy.
me a fancy set of dice.
Awesome.
All right, and I think that is as good a spot as any to wrap it up for the day. I'd like to make a very big thanks to Freckle Sketches, both for being the cartographer of Lutharia and helping me with so much of the world building, but also being willing to come on here and get interrogated about places she's only kind of heard of.
Strike, you forgot to tell us what Tish and Robin are up to now.
I didn't
After
forget.
they watch. No, you did. You didn't tell us.
I didn't forget. More will be coming.
Ew.
And we will be releasing some more stuff as we go. I want to remind everybody who's watching that in 2 weeks, most of the cast will be busy doing things that are not Darian Legends. MomoCon is going, so for the Atlanta contingent, they'll all be con going and paneling and all of that fun stuff, and I'll let them all sort of explain that on their own there. For those of us that are not in Atlanta, we'll be probably doing Memorial Day things as it's that weekend, or relaxing and whatnot. I will be attempting to put out some content. I have already put together literally an entire group to do this summit, so it will actually be done in that sense. We'll also have potentially some Visions for Alma and Lunez will have some other stuff. So there will be other things to do. So there will be some Lutharian content coming out. We just won't have a regular episode. So we're going to go around. I'm going to start with Robo because you have something coming up like now.
Hey, it's me, RoboGoblin, and you can find me at TTRP Gifts. And it was really a pleasure to be working with Freckles. You're awesome. You're amazing. You know a lot of stuff, and I was really impressed with all your knowledge. And you can find me at TTRP Gifts. In 30 minutes, you can find me at the Paradise Prod, where I'll be playing an Owling. Buff that. It's quite a good time if you have time. And that's me. We're also gonna have the AAPI Heritage Month celebration at the end of the month, and it's gonna be panels and it's gonna be games, and we're gonna be raising money for some pretty awesome charities. And we'd like to invite everybody to go watch all the stuff. And I'm gonna be working with Transplaner RPG. So catch us in both channels, and that's me.
All right, and we will go from there to Finn. Where can we find you? What are you up to? Speak, project.
Oh, yes.
Like it's doing the thing.
It's doing the thing. All right. I am Finn Archer, who is going to apparently have to shop for a new microphone. But you can find me at Bloodhaven Bard on Twitter. You can find me doing things on Chaotic Tiefling, where we do What Streams May Come and a few other things as we come up with it. I am going to be in an upcoming actual play run by D&D Jordan Lee on her channel. So please keep your eyes out for that thing, because it's going to be a very non-Robin. I can't say anything more about my character, but it's going to be a very non-Robin character that I get to play over there. Also, coming up a week from Wednesday, Gehenna Gaming is set to release a pre-recorded actual play of the Alien TTRPG, however set in Resident Evil's universe. And we will be uncovering and dealing with some of the machinations of the Umbrella Corporation there. So come check us out when that hits. Week from Wednesday. The 25th will be that date of release. Other than that, catch me at
Wednesday
MomoCon. Holla
before
at your boy.
MomoCon.
Yes. Catch me at MomoCon. Holla at your boy if you see me anywhere around. And we will be seeing you guys real soon.
All right, Trieste.
Hello, I am Blazes Gloriosa on Twitter and Twitch. I'm also on the D4 Discord and whatnot. I also will be returning to streaming this summer. I'm currently on a hiatus, so go ahead and follow me on Twitter to see what I'm up to. I do have a streamed game coming up in June, I think, but I don't have all the details right now and probably couldn't share them if I did. So catch me on Twitter and keep track of me there.
Miss Barbara.
Oh, hey, that's me. What up, everybody? It's me, your friendly neighborhood Babs the Bat. I am the CEO of Chaotic Tiefling Productions and one of the producers over here on D4. I, too, will be at MomoCon. I am on 2 panels. The Saturday panel I'm on is with wonderful people like Josh Simons and Critical Bard and Katiosaurus, who I am very excited to be doing a panel with and meeting for the first time. And that one is on content creation. The Sunday panel that I am on is about producing TTRPGs like this one. And that'll be with the lovely people, Ravnos, who is doing Finn's Resident Evil game, Ellie Collins, D&D Jordan Lee, April Raygun from Sladies, and you will also be able to find me in the upcoming D&D game that Jordan is doing. I will also be there playing a character who I don't know what she's about yet. So I have everything. I'm just really excited. So, and yeah, that, that's me in a nutshell.
And our esteemed and illustrious guest, Freckle. Where can people find you? All of that good stuff.
Oh, hello, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and buttholes. It's me. I'm Jess from Freckle Sketches everywhere. You can find me Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever has Freckle Sketches name, monkey, or on it. That's typically me. I stream on my own channel on Twitch. We play video games. I play video games with my husband and my best good buddy Sam. Lately, we've been playing Overcooked and yelling at each other about onions. So that's been delightful. I also stream some cartography there on occasion. That's usually every other Sunday on opposite Sundays to this one, just before Duval and Dragons. Lately, that's kind of been on the down low since most of my pieces have been kind of hush-hush. But I also do bookmarks. So lately, it's been bookmark streams, which is fun. It's super delightful. I love making bookmarks. Otherwise, I'm always screaming on Twitter about anything fun. I am your resident support goblin, out here shouting about all the things everybody loves and all the things I love my friends being in. I always try to be a pillar of positivity, so you do your best and do the same. Really appreciate being here. It's been delightful playing with all of you. I've kind of been watching all of the time. So, especially because as the official cartographer of Duval and Dragons and Utharian Legends, I kind of need to be in the know about everything that's going on. So it's been great to actually play with all of you. This has been a super delight. Thank you all for having me very, very much.
Thank you all for coming and watching. Again, as a reminder, we will be off in 2 weeks, but I will do my best to make sure that your Utharian habits stay consistent. We will be back in June with, as far as I know, everybody. We'll see how that turns out. And don't forget to tune into Paradise Prod here in just a few minutes to continue to watch Robo in his D&D marathon on Sundays. That apparently is what we do. And then after that, you can tune into D4 right here, back here. And
let's figure out who we're gonna raid.
Oh yeah, we should probably raid somebody.
Let's see. Let's see, who do we want to raid?
You know, if I had any thoughts in my head other than running game, I probably would have figured this out, before now.
I know.
Well, Sugar Axe is going if we want to go bother Ravnos himself putting together some Legos.
Yes. Let's do that. You said it's Sugar X?
Sugar Axe.
AXE,
Sugar.
yes.
AXE.
Like the weapon, but made of sugar.
Yes. Let's do that. We're going to go raid Ravnos over at Sugar X. So,
Bye, everybody.
all right. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Have a good day.